And she came in one day full of tears. And this is a young lady that kept herself looking good. I mean, nails done, hair done, everything did, as the hip hop artist says. But there was something broken on the inside of her. And after having a conversation with her, it sparked something in me that I had a responsibility as a professional, not only to make her look good, but to give her something that could help her in those times when she didn't feel so good. And out of that birthed this thing called the Build on Beauty podcast, which is now evolved into the Build on Beauty movement, which is me, a beauty professional, 20 plus years in the industry, taking something that I love to do and flipping it. Allowing women not only to feel and look good, but to have certainty of their goodness. In starting that mission, Build on Beauty, it led me to a question I had to ask myself. And I pose that question to you guys today. When you think of the word beauty, what comes to mind? If you don't mind, I'd like to propose a few things that comes to mind for me. One is brilliance. You see, we're in a season right now where many of our sons, daughters, nephews, nieces, they're matriculating through academics, where they're graduating from university and high school. And it's beautiful to see them toil and go through all of the things that they have to go through to get to that stage where they're wearing the cap and gown proud. It's a beautiful moment, right? I have a godson who's 2 years old. And his mom and I, we all attend the same church, and I sing at my church. And he has this thing about microphones. He just loves microphones. So the other Sunday I was coming down and I take my mic to my seat. And he's sitting behind me. Give me that microphone, 2 years old. Give me that microphone. I knew he was coming for it when I came down, so I hid it. Because they keep the mics live, we have to mute them. And if he grabs it and unmutes it, the whole sanctuary will hear whatever he has to say in that moment. So I said, he's not getting this mic today. So I went and hid it. So he comes around the aisle, comes into where I am as if he wants to sit with me. I want to sit with God Daddy. When really his mission is to find that mic. So he's sitting in my lap and all of a sudden he's looking around. He's going to determine to find that mic. And when he got to the point where he couldn't find it, he got up and walked back and sat with his mom. And he sat back there, he thought about that thing. He said, I know that mic is up there somewhere. And he leans over the aisle and says, give me that microphone right now. That thing made me smile because it made me think of how brilliant our young people are. And he's not even aware of his brilliance right now, 2 years old. But he knew what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. This to me is beauty. It's brilliance. Not only is it brilliance, but it's benevolent. My father passed 4 years ago after having a tragic accident that left him a quadriplegic. And seeing him go through all the issues that he went through, being a quad, not having the use of his arms and legs, it brought me joy as I began to say I would go every day and visit. No matter how long I worked, I would go every day and visit. And one day I walked in and he heard me coming down the hall and he's just calling, hey, Cornell, come here, come here. And when I hit the corner of his room, his face lit up. Even though he was in a situation where he couldn't move, the fact that he smiled and got excited to see me was beautiful. At that moment, my benevolence was beautiful. My good nature, my kind gesture was beautiful. There's a story that I saw just not long ago where an American family adopted a Kenyan young girl. And in adopting this Kenyan young girl, it left them curious about their life and everything that was going on with them over in Kenya. So the family packed up and they went and they visited. The family, husband and wife, and a young girl who's the same age as the young girl that they were supporting, began to develop a relationship with this family that now has spun over many years and has developed into an initiative where the family is now not only serving that young girl, but serving the entire village. The village where they have poor water, no fresh water resources. They came up with a way of serving, of kindly gesturing their efforts in whatever way that may be. to serve this family? Well, there's a popular talk show host that came together and heard about this story. And he brought that young girl from the American family and that young Kenyan girl who had been getting service from this family for many years together on one stage. And to see the embrace, I'm watching it on TV. This young Kenyan girl runs on the stage and hugs this American girl who doesn't even speak her language, doesn't even understand what she says without an interpreter. But something about that embrace when they saw each other, it was the love, it was the benevolence, it was the beauty. You see, beauty is among us all the time. It's around us, it's in us. And it's up to us to see it and embrace it. I propose to you today that not only is beauty brilliant and benevolent, but it's a birthright. There's a book that I read every now and then. It's pretty much basic instructions while living on earth. And in one of those chapters it says, He makes everything beautiful in its time. He being the supreme God. What does that mean to you? For me, it meant there are moments in life when you don't feel your beauty or see. But in time, as you evolve and you discover who you are, He begins to cause you to realize your true beauty. And in you realizing your true beauty, the world now can realize it and embrace it. Confucius is known as saying this. He's a Chinese philosopher. He has said these words: everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. It is my mission as not only a beauty professional, but a speaker, a writer, a helper, to not only help you be beautiful, but help you to see your beauty. You know what? Beauty is more than bundles. It's more than perfect brows. It's more than a nicely situated backside. You'll get that tomorrow. It's a state of being. And as Confucius said, I stand here to help you to not only see it, to see the beauty, but to embrace it. My name is Cornell Jermaine. This has been the Build on Beauty Live. Until next time, let your soul be made whole. Take care.